of silence where echoes remain. You were the sunrise, and I was the rain. A collision of souls, opposing in flight. I was the darkness, you yearned for the light. Now you're gone, and I'm losing my mind, losing my mind, I'm losing my mind. Now you're gone. Why did you cut me up, bring me out?
Hello everyone, and welcome back again. So today we're going to be attempting to set up some sort of water irrigation system in here, just to make it that little bit easier for me with watering. I know I can just fill this whole section up and just fill the trays up, but it can be a little bit time consuming, especially with the other polytunnel as well outside and all the other things that need watering. At the moment outside is covered with the rain, but we still need to do things like the potatoes in the pots. They all need watering by hand because the rain just doesn't get into the pots. So if I can help myself out a little bit by setting up some sort of irrigation system in here, it'd make my life a lot easier. So I got this on TEMU. I think it was about £17. It's the whole setup. Really good reviews on it. It's an 8mm pipe, and you get 20 of the spray hoses, 20 of these push fit clips, and these are really easy because they just push in and they're locked in place. And to remove it, you just push down on the blue thing and it just pops back out. So there's no need for cutting anything or putting holes in any of it. And if you're not happy with how it's set up, you can always readjust it and move things around, which I quite like the idea of that. You get some cable ties, some little nails and a little thing to hold it in place. So we're either going to nail it to the front here and just have them squirting directly into the tray, or I might cable tie them to this post at the back and have them pointing directly at the tomato plants. Not 100% sure yet how we're going to go about it, and I do believe in here somewhere, there we go, that is the stop. So you just pop that into the end of one of these and that stops it, so there's no need for bending the hose or crimping it or anything like that. You also get an adapter for a tap. Obviously we're going to need that to connect it all up, and this pipe just pushes on into there, and that's got a push fit connection on it as well. And you do get a little roll of PTF tape just to put around the tap before screwing this onto your tap. Not sure if I've got a screw on tap head, so I might have to try and adjust that somehow. Got plenty of fittings that should adjust it. And you also get, which I think is pretty cool, this little device, and it's got a razor blade in that end. You just pop the pipe in like so, push it down, and it cuts the pipe really clean. It's not squashed it or anything like that, so it's not going to hinder going into any of the fittings. And then it's also got this little bit on the other end, which I'm assuming is to hold them open whilst you push the pipe in, something like that, I'd imagine. Obviously with this coming from TEMU, you get no instructions whatsoever. I did have a picture of it all set up on my phone, but I'm using my phone to record, so I can't really look at that for references and film the video, but it's quite straightforward. Can't really see how we can mess this one up. Sure I'll manage, but I did buy 2 of these. I keep getting the promotion, free gifts with purchase, so I've got a load of other free bits and purchased these. I think first thing that we should do is get all these bits connected and then maybe work out. I think I'm going to be better off putting them on here and just letting this flood personally. Or do I nail them on or cable tie them onto the back? Because ideally the pepper plants aren't going to be taking half as much water as the tomatoes, so I think I might nail it onto the back, and as what I'll do is I'll put 2 on the front here, on here just at the top here, and I'll also do 2 at the back there, and that should just flood this a little bit, because it does fall down and gathers in the centre here, so if I put some either side it should just give it that little bit. So we'll get all the tops put on and then we will have a look, see how we're going to go about it and which way would be the best. But for the price, so far, you know, the quality of everything, these pipes, they've got a metal pipe inside them, so they'll bend to any shape that you want. They've got brass fittings on the end of them, they're crimped, they're a decent quality, you know, they're very well made. Whether or not they work, I don't know. But for sake of £20, willing to give it a go. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all, but might as well have them all set up ready to go anyway. Right, so next thing is work out where they're going to go, how many we're going to need. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is work out where our tap's going to bring it in, which is going to be over here. No. So I'm thinking if we nail it on here, just get a couple in it over here. Don't think I could have found a bigger hammer. So I'm thinking if I put actually I know. I'll start it from here. Okay, go from here. No, this would be that way. We will get there eventually. Like I say, this is just trial and error. But if we connect the tap up here, go 1, 2, 3, then go right the way round and then go along the back. Or 1, 2. Now we'll put obviously these can be moved about, so it doesn't have to be in between the pots. But if we put one here and one here and then go around. So I'll just cut this pipe there, place that on there. Nail that down there. Work out where next one's going to go, say about there. And then it's just a case of measure the pipe. Okay, quite straightforward. So far so good. The thing that I would say is these clips are a little bit small for the pipe. They're a little bit big for the pipe, sorry. You do get that bit of movement, but that is fine. So that's those two. Just bend them right over. We can go around adjusting all these once we've got everything in place. So with these next ones now, I think is what I'm going to do, instead of nailing them with these clips, because I'm going to go on this batten on the back, and obviously there's a bit of bounce in it, so I'm going to struggle to nail it, and it's going to be quite awkward trying to get these cable ties around that batten. There are these little holes here and here, which is where the cable tie goes through to wrap it round whatever. So I found some screws fit through there without damaging it at all, and that shouldn't go right the way through that batten, so it shouldn't pierce the polythene on the other side. I just won't over tighten them, but I think that'll be quite a bit easier than trying to get the cable ties round. So this next one, I'm going to bring it round to here. So I'll just get a rough measurement of the pipe that we're going to need. So if I click that one in there, I could tack that down on the front here. So talking about there, roughly. This little thing is absolutely brilliant. So I'll clip this one on, get it in place to where I want it. I'll only put one screw in for now, see how that does. If I feel like we need to put two in them, I can always do that further down the line or when we're finished. Well, so far this is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And I do have to say, so far I'm very impressed with the quality of everything. Probably would have been a bit easier to do this before planting everything, but sometimes you don't think of these things till afterwards. I'm just making sure that I'm going behind all these branches and stems of any plants in here, just so these don't squeeze anything. It's not taking quite as long as what I thought it was going to either, which is a good thing, because I'm going to let this video play out, just so it gives us an idea of how long it actually takes setting up one of these systems. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not going to make you watch me do it all. So that's what I'll do. I'll carry on doing this till I reach the end of this row, and then I'll bring you back and we'll have a talk through what we're going to do along the back and the other edge there, and just have a work out how we're going to go about all that. Right, well, that is the last one along the back there. So all of these plants in the back now have got their own water source, so to say. So what I'm going to do now is just bring this pipe around to down the bottom here, place one, I might place two right next to each other just up here. So moved a few bits around just to clear a little bit of space for us. Whilst I've got the space there, just gonna tie these tomatoes up quickly. Just remove these side shoots. So, as you can see, we have reached just here. That one could be folded down to there. I might stick another one just here. Actually, I will stick another one just there, and then that should provide a bit of water coming down here just to fill up the bottom of this tray. And it, like I said, it's on a fall, leaning towards that way anyway. So just pop that on there and stick a screw in that quickly. And so what I'm going to do on these trays is I'm just going to put two to each tray. We've got 4 left from this set, and then I do have another set afterwards, but I'm not sure how many pipes this thing is capable of pushing water through, and how much pressure I'd need to actually run through more than what they've provided us with. But we'll give it a go. If I find that I'm not getting any water on that side, I'll remove 2 of them or split it and just add another tap on the other end. We've still got plenty of pipe left, so thinking if we go one between each of these pots, that should provide us with an equal amount of water being dispersed into each tray. There we go. If any of you guys have tried this irrigation system or anything similar, let me know in the comments. Any feedback or any information, or if you guys see that I'm doing anything wrong, please tell me. I don't mind criticism. That is how we learn a lot of the times. Probably could have done with that one being a bit further apart. That should do. Just like that. And the last two go in this tray. And then, like I say, we've got a few more. We only need another 4 extra out the other packet. I'm not going to go and try and go into individual pots or anything like that. I think that'll just take too long. And I don't mind doing a little bit whilst this is running. I can be doing the other pots that are on here and stuff like that, and that way I can just keep an eye on it, make sure they're all running properly. But it'll just save half an hour of me filling up these trays. Because believe me, that can take some time. And as I mentioned earlier, when you've got so much to try and do and not a whole lot of time in the day, anything that is going to make it that little bit easier for me, it's definitely well worth doing. Oh, flipping pipe again. And I'll tell you what, compared to ones that I have used in the past, this is a lot easier to set up so far anyway. Obviously, if I didn't have all these tomato plants already planted up, then this would have been a lot easier. But sometimes you don't think of these things till afterwards. I think the best thing to do is to move these out of the way. Get rid of that. Oh, water all over my chair. Lovely. Move him out of the way. And don't worry guys, I am just as amazed as all of you, that I haven't broke a tomato plant yet. There's still time. So I'm just going to put a couple of tacks in this back corner, just so the pipe is tight up in the corner and not dragging around the centre like this. There we go, you're the one that I'm going to break, aren't you? Yes, you are. Where are they? Where are you? You watch these be slightly smaller. I can almost guarantee you. Oh, they fit. Just tie it onto there. Oh, I hope this works. I hope this works. I really hope this bloody works. To be honest, I'm pretty confident in this and that it is going to work. And I am very impressed with how it's all going together. Right, so I've just popped the end cap in there, and that'll be the last one. So that is all of them fitted now, all the way around, right the way around. And I've managed to get a fitting to fit on the end of this. I've connected the hose pipe up. I haven't tested it yet. I've just been round and opened up all these end pieces a little bit, just giving them half a turn. We can go around and adjust them as and when. But I think next thing to do is get the tap on and see if these work. I can hear water. Oh, they're all seems to be working. We've got water coming out the end one, so that's really good. Pull the camera off the stand. Well, as you can see, they all seem to be working quite well. I've only turned the tap on slightly so I can make sure everything's working. But that is ideal. Let's check all these at the back. Oh, that is going to make my life so much easier. I am absolutely made up for that. Well guys, I'm absolutely made up that that works. That is going to save me a heck of a lot of time in the future. Just going to leave it run for 5-10 minutes, make sure everything's okay. These troughs are starting to fill up, these trays are starting to fill up just nicely. We're not over watering anything, so I'm really happy with that. So for now guys, that's going to be it for this video today. Just like to say a massive thank you to everyone for watching, and if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.